Mr. Fuji. You and Don Morocco.
Here he comes, Mr. Fuji. This is great.
I still cannot believe that incident in front of a national television audience. How degrading, how humiliating for Ricky Steamboat to be literally choked by his own belt by the two of you and Don Morocco.
Steamboat-san, you lose face, huh? Lose face to all the people in Hawaii. So now you're being JYD, huh? I call him Yard Ape.
Wow. You could not get away with that. Now that WWE is a publicly traded company, you can't say that stuff.
Fine. We feel great what we did to you, Steamboat. We feel pure. Oh, very pure.
If that's the way you feel, Mr. Fuji, in all due respect, you've got to be sick men.
Yes, we are sick. Yeah.
Yes, we are sick.
We want to make you crawl and make you cry. We want to cripple you. With all the muscle you have, you see these fingers, I will take out one muscle at a time and give it to Morocco. He'll squeeze it. Then I'll take out the bone from you, the ribs, and get it out of Morocco, bend it and bust it. Then I'll give you one big karate chop to your head.
It's very specific.
Morocco will take over, and you'll get size 14 boots right on your big head, boys. Oh, yeah, junkyard. We don't forget about you. We will take care of you to volunteer your body to this tag team to be Ricky's partner.
This sounds like some kind of an experiment over at Harvard University. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Fuji. I can't believe some of the things that you're saying.
What Mr. Fuji is saying is true. Mr. Fuji and Morocco never lie. What we say on TV, we do in ring. We make opponents suffer.
Fans are going to be coming from Providence, Worcester, parts throughout the area to the Boston Garden Saturday night, August 3rd, 8 p.m. From top to bottom, fantastic World Wrestling Federation.
Wow. Wow, it's very specific and gruesome in his threats to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Junkyard Dog. But as I said on the Jim Ross good old JR's barbecue website today on Facebook, I said, the wrestling world is not crying out of grief. We're just crying because Mr. Fuji threw salt in our eyes one last time. Rest in peace, Mr. Fuji. May you be pulling ribs in that great big place in the sky. So, anyway, Josiah had mentioned... Josiah, what were you talking about?
As I was watching this, I was like, they should make, like, a series for Lego. Like, Lego should make a series of sets. Like, they could do Snake Mountain, and it has, like, Skeletor and all the bad guys. And then there's, like, Castle Grayskull, and it can have He-Man. I mean, they would obviously have to be really big sets. But if they did them smaller, they would just have to be like a wall, which wouldn't be very cool.
Well, actually, Mega Bloks has the He-Man license, and they did not do minifigures. They do have minifigures that are Mega Bloks. Mm-hmm. They did a He-Man and a Skeletor set that you build into like a He-Man or a Skeletor. They don't look very good.
No, Mega Bloks is trying to copy off Lego.
They basically they I don't know what they did. They didn't do the and there you go. You see, Eel Seed is now doing. He's pulling the the Wicked Witch of the West, the gimmick where he's dying because there's snow and stuff. I would love to see a Filmation-style Castle Grayskull now that I'm thinking about it. And it's really weird. Yeah, here we go. He's talking there. Skeletor is working with He-Man to take down Evil Seed, which never happened. Yeah. Anyway, I love how there's a moral to the story, and I'm going to play it at some point, probably right around here. I've got the audio. I'm going to have to cut it up and put it right here. The moral of the story that they play at the end of the episode, which is funny because that was so common in the cartoons when I was a kid. G.I. Joe always had knowing is half the battle, and now they have, He-Man had this. I think all the Filmation cartoons had it. There was a Filmation cartoon called Brave Star, which was a cowboy in space, and it was like this western that combined like that interesting like space with cowboys, and then He-Man had space mixed with swords and sorcery, and She-Ra was there too. It was all these fun things that like pulpy.
I'm pretty sure you have like every
Was that
single-
seriously like the message?
Oh, listen,
Oh, okay.
here's the moral of the story. Tila gets to share the moral, and I'm going to play it right here.
Today was a day for surprises, and the biggest one of all was Skeletor and He-Man working together. By joining their powers, He-Man and Skeletor were able to stop Evil Seed. Working with others can sometimes be difficult, but if you listen to and respect the ideas of others, even when you don't agree with them, you'll find it's easier to get the job done. And who knows, you may even learn something.
You can hear like there's a fan in my house. I apologize. So there, Tila is sharing the moral of the story, and the moral is, what was the moral, Josiah? Why don't you tell me?
If you work together, it'll be easy to get the job done.
Well, yeah, and
I thought the moral, like, before it cut to that, was that you should clean your room, which is completely ridiculous, because he said he's going to send Skeletor to Orko's room to clean it.
No.
Because if it's so messy that he will never find his way out, and then Orko's like, I'll clean it right now.
Well, the more
Which I felt was funny.
the moral, like I thought it was interesting that He-Man had to work with Skeletor, and Skeletor is obviously the sworn enemy of He-Man, but they have to work together for the greater good. And here we go. I'm gonna pull the fatherly advice thing on you guys for a moment. And as you get older and grow up, here comes someone down the stairs. I can hear them on the microphone. Hi, it's my lovely bride. And now my dog's tail is wagging and hitting the thing. And yes, I am recording.
She hears you talking about it.
And it's because my mic is so sensitive. I hear everything. The dog is banging on the thing. Can you please move the dog? Chloe, get out of here.
Come on.
Anyway, the moral of the story is, in life, you may end up having to work with a jerk. And your job is relying on you finishing your work, and you may end up working with a jerk. And He-Man had to work with Skeletor. And so by working with Skeletor, they got the job done, and all was copacetic in Eternia, and Evil Seed died. So, I'm going to pause this for a second. Hold on. All right, I took a minute to discuss some stuff, and it was only a minute. It really wasn't that long. There's a lot going on in my house, and I resigned myself when I was going to do a podcast with my boys that it would be a life podcast, in that our life would go on as we record, and I would.
This goes longer than the Batman one.
It already has.
We did 4 episodes.
We did 1 episode of the Batman podcast.
Yeah, we did 1 episode.
We did a second one.
We did try a second one, and I never posted it. You're right. We
I
did
should
2
do-
episodes.
Wait, we did do a second one?
Yeah, we never posted it, but that's besides the
I don't
point.
even remember doing a second one.
So this is like a life podcast, and I have not. I have decided that, well, it may sound a little rough. I have a decent microphone, and the right software, and the key to a good podcast is consistency. What I heard from several successful podcasters is consistency. Always deliver at the same time every week, and always deliver. Like, don't take time off. Always put something out, even if it's a 2-minute, like, hey, I can't make it to do a podcast, but here's a update from what I'm doing. So we're going to do that. In fact, I announced it on the live feed on Facebook, which I do every week. I try to do a live Facebook feed, going live and letting people know, hey, we're recording, how's it going? You know, give faces to the voices. If you see us and know us, most of you guys know who we are. You can see the new haircuts that they get, and whether I'm growing a beard out, or anything else. In fact, Josie has requested to be part of the next podcast, whichever one we do. I don't know when I'm going to have her record with us.
Father, sons,
and daughter podcast. I don't know what we'll talk about with Josie.
Juliana would not even be able to be part of it.
No, Juliana would have to go to bed. She's still a little young. But anyway, so anyway, what I wanted to say is I announced on the Facebook feed. I want to put it on this so that everybody hears it. The 2 people who listen. I think we've gotten 23 listens on 4 episodes of our podcast. So 23 people have listened to our podcast, and not one of them is me. So, I say 23 people, but if you divide it up evenly, 4 divided by 23 divided by 4, well, 3
divided by 4, so
23 divided by 3, about 7 people listen to this on average. But anyway, for those of you who do look forward to listen to our ramblings and me joking around with my boys, there will be a change in the schedule. In fact, the boys are going back to their homeschool co-op on Tuesday mornings, and we record these on Monday nights, and they're kind of going a little bit late. In fact, it's a little after 9 now. It's bedtime for Jonas soon, bedtime for Josiah soon. I need to get some sleep because I'm working. So what we're doing now is we're going to start on Fridays recording. Hopefully every Friday, every other Friday if necessary. But I'd like to do every Friday, and we'll put a new podcast up every Friday night. So you have it for the weekend or even your Monday morning commute or whatever. I have to figure out the iTunes link. We'll figure that out. We'll throw in all the links for feedback, all that other stuff, and we'll eventually have that. We'll slicken it up a little bit. We'll make it look. We'll spit polish it a little bit, make it look better because we're just learning. It's a life podcast, which is what Because I Said So is. Huh?
Spit polish your microphone?
No, I'm not going to spit polish my microphone. I'm talking about making the podcast sound sort of better. But anyway, it's a life podcast here at Because I Said So headquarters, which is my house, which is my living room with my boys and my wife and my lovely daughters. So I have a dad joke to share with you guys, and then we're going to go. All right? Ready?
I told one joke today.
Jonas will tell a joke. You know what? Why don't you tell your joke first? I'm going to turn the microphone towards you.
Why was the egg a comedian? Because it had a lot of yolks.
Do you have a dad joke, Jonas? Or Josiah?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I went to my dad the other day and I asked him, can you make me a sandwich? And then he said, poof, you're a sandwich.
Alright, one last lad joke.
One last lad
Oh, laddie joke. We're going to tell a laddie joke. Yeah, we're in Ireland. We're going to talk about you, laddie. No, one more dad joke, and then we're going to call it a night. Did you guys hear the joke about the sheep, the drum, and the snake that fell down a mountain? Ba-dum. This has been Because I Said So, the podcast, Father and Sons podcast. I can't even speak English anymore. And brought to you under the auspices of Because I Said So.
One more lad joke.
One more lad joke. We are happy that you listened. Thanks for listening. And have a good night, not because you want to, but because
I said so.